Black Musk Dogecoin is a game in which you fight the Chinese government to not sell your valuable data of monkey feedpick NFTs. Brought to you by Game Science, a company that was founded by ex-Tencent employees, which is a publisher that everyone likes. They published such classics as Undawn, PUBG Mobile, free-to-play gacha weed game number 3052, and free-to-play gacha weed game number 3053.
They're the same picture.
The game broke Steam records because the entirety of China, like a true communist nation, all collectively wanted to play it at the same time when it came out. It is said that Mao Zedong himself, on his deathbed, said that all of China should play this game when it comes out, and oh my god, they did. So in this beautiful Chinese concentration camp of a game, you play as John Myth, a Chinese monkey. Wow, I can't believe they actually look like this in China. Fighting the full force of the CCP in order to be able to download Winnie Pooh feedpics of the dark web and make hentai legal in China. On the task of completing these goals, he walks through the entirety of China on foot, encountering many trials and tribulations. And by that I mean pain and suffering, fighting enemies such as Furry, and Chinese Eggman. Wow, I can't believe they turned Golden Freddy into a boss. Glad to see that the FNAF fanbase is also being represented.
Disturbing the peace, look into my eyes. Now tell me the things you loving about behind my back. Definitely, I hope this hard to break down. It's late for apology is going down.
Before you start the game, please do yourself a favor and play this in Chinese. Not only will you get the full CCP experience, but the voice actors are also so much better. And you'd like to support your dictator government, don't you? That being said, for the case of this video, we're going to have to make a sacrifice and play in English. Yeah, I know, but no one will pay attention if they all speak in Bing Ling. As previously mentioned, you play as the Chinese Curious George, fighting the gods because they stole banana. And monkey need banana. Give banana me, give eat banana me, eat banana, give me eat banana, give me give eat banana, me eat banana, give me you. So you fight them to have your silence, so you can go back to creating monkey ASMR, fighting the Fire Lord from Avatar.
He's not just any monkey, he's a monkey of merit.
What did you say?
A monkey was made Buddha once. Look, monkey, I don't make a habit of fighting someone I've bested before.
Which serves as an introductory fight sequence in order for us to get to learn the mechanics of the game. There's no way to die here because you don't have a health bar, which makes this the easiest fight in the entire game by far. The fighting mechanics are very complex. There's the basic hits and the heavy hits, and that's basically it. Oh, and you also have spells. There's the free spell which turns you into Dio from JoJo, and there's the multiply spell that makes you multiply like Naruto's shadow clones from the hit anime Boruto. The final spell you have is Rock Solid, and I already know what you're thinking, but if you haven't noticed, this is a serious Christian channel and I will not stand for such jokes. So anyways, the spell literally turns you rocks. I'm sorry, I can't. We become so hard that we literally turn into a rock, allowing us to withstand any attack. While fighting, John hears the new KSI song in the distance, and he goes back into the woods to turn that shit off. Mid-flight, however, he suffers from a brain aneurysm from the sheer awfulness of the song, and gets 360 no-scoped by Sniper Wolf. The fact that a woman killed us is so embarrassing that we break into 1,000 parts, which scatter all across of China. So yeah, we actually die, and the game's over. But no, it doesn't end here, because we actually play as the second incarnation of Genghis Khan, starting a John Wick-esque revenge mission, trying to recover all the scattered parts and killing anyone that wronged us in the process. So naturally, because we aren't the real Wukong, we lose all of our spells and can only defeat our enemies through basic combat. On our expedition through the Chinese woods, we must fight basic furries who are king-shaming and bullying us for our monkey cosplay. Dealing with them the only way we know how to deal with them. We discover a shrine and hear a strange voice pleading us to enter his candy van. I mean, demanding for us to make an offer. After making an offer, my left hairy ballsack appears, telling us where to look for the free $19 Fortnite card. Apparently he has a white van ready for us to get there. However, once he hears the furries, he pussies out because even he is not that desperate. As we venture further on, we fight more degenerates on our way to some temple where apparently the Fortnite card is located. Guarding the temple, however, is our first real boss of this game, Smurfcat. His moveset isn't really anything to write home about, he just kind of wildly swings his axe around, and that's basically it. Although because I'm a fucking dumbass, I still had trouble fighting this basic ass boss. But honestly, if you at least somewhat know what you're doing, this fight should be pretty easy for you. It is during this fight where the freeze spell gets reintroduced to us. Okay, I guess it is good for people that haven't used their spells in the intro to learn how it works. I, however, will not bore you to tears explaining it again, since you already know what the spell does. What I will point out, however, is that the spell the ballsack casts lasts much longer than ours ever does during gameplay, which is pretty weird. Anyways, we beat the boss with no problems whatsoever, and move on to another shrine where we upgrade our stats. I will not go too in depth with all the things you can upgrade there. All I will say is that in the beginning it's better to upgrade your health and stamina before everything else. Believe me, you're gonna thank me for it. The hairy ballsack reappears and turns us into a bug, for us not to be noticed by the fairies. Then I get lost, don't know where to go, and get spotted because the fairies have a wall hack. This makes us lose our form, and for some reason we aren't allowed to turn back into the bug once we've transformed into our monkey selves. Here we can also fight the Chinese Eggman, but in his Smurfcat form, who promptly beats our asses. We move on because it is just a reskin of a boss I will cover in just a bit, and encounter the Alpha Fairy as a boss. His name is Guangxi. Sorry if I butchered the pronunciation. And according to the Black Myth Wukong wiki, is a reverse furry. He holds a burning dual blade like Darth Maul that turns you into the average Vietnamese citizen during the Cold War. He also has the ability to dash and throw stab at you, which is really fun to deal with. In addition to that, he can go full Ninjago on your ass and do a spinzitsu with his staff. After several excruciating deaths, we manage to beat him. He drops a staff which allows us to transform into him. So we literally become a fairy using the spell. And yeah, believe me, whether you like it or not, you'll definitely need it. Next we fight Link Shuzi. Yeah, there's no way I'm pronouncing that correctly. Basically any furry if you tell him to take a shower. He just uses his claws to attack you, being a lot quicker than the other boss before. I'll be honest with you, though I definitely had my fair share of rage moments with this boss, it honestly isn't too hard if you time your dodges correctly. Venturing through more of the forest, we meet Sensei Wu, who literally uses the Force. Don't ask me where he learned that. To take our monster energy to paint a Gamersub's waifu on. With this objective improvement, we can now use different Gamersubs flavors to better combat the enemies. There's a cooling Gamersubs that stops you from ending up like Wolverine in that one scene. Then there is a Gamersubs that literally is a painkiller from the trustworthy company State Force. We even have a Gamersubs that removes you from being poisoned by the thought of capitalism. And lastly, we have the enhancing Gamersubs which increases your health and one that increases your damage for a duration. Sadly though, none of these Gamersubs will help you get any bitches. But who needs 3D women when 2D ones are vastly superior? We try to progress through invisible walls, searching for a way to advance the level. After beating the hardest boss of the game that is known as the level design, we see a comrade in need and help the brother out.
Hey, you're kind of cute. What's your OnlyFans?
Bro, what are you talking about?
I heard you seek that $19 Fortnite card.
Who told you that, and who even are you?
I think I have what you're looking for and more. Just follow me inside, I might even have a cute baby rabbit.
Asking no further questions, we follow him inside a sexscape. Talking to the guy, we can upgrade our pockets so we can carry more Gamersubs, upgrade our caffeine portion so that we are ready for an intense gaming session, and buy 5 gum from the dude. If the shop and the very open, not at all like a fighting stage looking area didn't already give it away, another boss awaits up ahead.
Swiggity sweetie, I'm coming for that booty. So, what up? Have you ever mined Pepe coin? I for myself prefer something more classy like dog whiff coin.
Sir, this is a Wendy's. Welcome to our first challenging boss fight of the game. I mean, took you long enough. This fight is very fun, if you're into cock and ball torture. Just spamming the dodge button isn't really viable. It is really about anticipating the opponent's next move. And then still getting fucked up the ass because you can anticipate his moves. You know, with him zooming around like Sonic the Hedgehog. I really love his Dark Souls-esque fighting style where you only have a small attack frame, and when it's the opponent's turn he pulls out a combo that is longer than this video took to make. Although he jumps around more than a cocaine addict with ADHD, we eventually beat him, and... Oh no!
You have forced my hand. Now I will show you the true strength of bonk coin mining.
So yeah, it turns out he has a second stage, as if the first one wasn't enough of a pain in the ass. Several suicide thoughts later, and we finally defeat Ocean Man. He tells us to go to Taco Bell and get diarrhea before he vanishes from our Thanos snap. We visit Taco Bell, only for us to encounter Chinese Eggman, finally prompting me to talk about it. He has a pretty elaborate moveset, jumping and flailing around like the least British drunkman. He's able to use the force and stomp the ground like the Hulk, if he was actually useful. So this boss is actually piss easy if you aren't a complete idiot like me. I'm saying this because all around you there are fentanyl zombies which you can kill, suck out their life essence and charge up your health, meaning you essentially have an infinite health source while fighting this boss. These fat zombies, however, are not standing around the entire time you fight the boss, because the avatar here can order them to turn into suicide bombers when they're close to you, who successfully avoid getting blown up, and the boss charges them into a massive Kamehameha to blast their asses. The healing factor from the zombies also works for the monk, as he turns into the sun to heal himself. Beating the frantic Taco Bell employee, we get a fireproof mantle that is a surprise tool that can help us later. We head up the mountain and pass through a door where we encounter our next boss, Mike from Breaking Bad.
We had a good thing, you stupid son of a bitch. We had everything we needed. It all ran like clockwork. It was perfect. But no, you just had to blow it up. You and your pride and your ego. You just had to be the man. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now.
This fight is really easy, I promise. So yeah. He can turn into the flying spaghetti monster to hit us by phasing through us. He can also do a ground pound attack that releases a shockwave the size of the funny Hiroshima bomb. Another really fun move that he does, which I also like, is him turning to ash to reappear behind us like Dio using Zawardo.
I got some jelly beans.
In addition, he drinks prime and spits out fire from the sheer awfulness of the drink. He also attacks you verbally throughout the fight.
Still think you're rock solid.
We end him before he can truly break bad. The boss egg appears and gives us a spell with which we can turn invisible. With this new spell we fight more furries as we head up the rest of the mountain. Finally on top of it, we see a burning temple and now have to fight Cocaine Bear. He snorts so much cocaine that he turns into a fart cloud, attacking us with his Taco Bell farts. And hey, remember when I said the fireproof mantle will help us later? Well, the time is now. Although I didn't use it, like, at all. He pulls out the finest WWE moves to flatten our asses into pancake bread. Instead of telling you again how hard the fight is, since it is the final fight of this chapter, I'd rather just show you. We defeat him, and it turns out that the funny bear wasn't acting on his free will. From his relic, we receive Herb, as he shows us a PowerPoint presentation of how the bear turned into Evil Bear. Wow, I didn't know that Chinese anime exists. For some reason, there are only bold people in this temple. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but for some reason the entire temple is destroyed by a single piece of clothing. Hey, it's me, not Maxer here. Welcome to the obligatory desert level of the game. I'm sure... Wait, what the fuck is that? Not sure how he can still sing when he doesn't even have a head. Guess you can't say he's in over his head. Man, this song is a real headbanger. It's a real head turner. He heads out before we can make more head puns, as we fight more annoying furries with arrows. They were there before, I just didn't mention them. They basically use a machine gun, and they're placed all around the level, which makes them a very interesting enemy to deal with. I love playing video games because they're so fun! It's also here where you encounter the rat from Ninja Turtles, who uses spells to fight you. Those spells can knock you back harder than Drake is on the playground. And then we have to fight Pepe. Hey, what the frog doing? His attacks are really shocking, using lightning to fight us, because as you know, frogs are very lightning absorbent. I've also heard he gives the best tongue. You can say it's really enlightening. In addition to him changing the weather in the desert, he can puke out lightning bolts to attack us. And because this enemy isn't annoying enough, he can also attack you with his back turned. I think I booted up the wrong version of Frogger. we arrive at Sandgate Village, where we fight more red people. It's also here where we encounter Earth Wolf. I'm not sure that this is a wolf from Earth. It more so looks like a red with horns. I guess you could say the red is horny. His attacks are pretty basic, except he likes to charge you a lot, which is an attack that is really easy to avoid. And oh wow, I think I broke the game. How did you even manage to get up there? Wait, I can actually defeat him like this? Oh damn, he escaped. Wait, what? Where the hell did he go? Oh no, don't tell me. Are you fucking kidding me? Well, we fight him again, defeat him, and decide that we've had just about enough of this place and open a door to finally get out of here, only to be greeted by another boss. Or should I say, 2 more bosses. What fun!
I think you've noticed a trend by now.
This really is a red level, and because of that, we fight 2 of them at the same time. The Red King and the Red Prince. The King honestly is harder to deal with because he's a slippery little bastard, and for that reason I try to take care of the Prince first. The Prince has a staff with a ball that he tries to hit you with. He also has the ability to headbutt us, making a stupid face look even more ugly. We beat him by getting a mirror and making him see his ugly ass face, which makes him die from cringe. Once you take him down, the king cowers away. The headless dude appears and sings a song on their graves. So, what has this game now taught us? It's that in the desert, there are lots of rats and frogs apparently. So moving on, we enter a cave, where we see the Red King, who's standing at a cliff making a blood sacrifice. Out of the cliff climbs another red boss, who eats him. And my god, is it ugly. It looks like a Peglet and the previous 2 bosses had a baby. I will not really elaborate on the fight, given that the boss is pretty basic. The only notable thing that he does compared to the previous bosses is attack with his tail. But yeah, we pack it up really quick and hit a wall at the same area we just fought it to discover a secret crack in the wall. On the other side, we discover an item with which we can access a secret area by using it on a sandfall later on in the level. Opening the door that is behind the sandfall, on the other side, we're greeted by a sandstorm and fight Black Balloon, who uses 2 lightning weapons to fight you. And it turns out that monkeys aren't really shock absorbents. With his lightning weapons, he can hit the ground multiple times, so we have to dodge the shockwaves of his attacks. To avoid the hits, you can climb up onto a rock.
But naturally, I didn't really do that.
By swinging his weapons around, he can create a thunderstorm, so basically he's just However, he isn't too difficult to fight, and we eventually defeat him, though we aren't really done with all the secret bosses yet. Because when we go back to chapter 1, we can go to the waterfall and stop it with the same item we stopped the sandfall with. Shimming through another crack, we see a weird looking tree, and now fight Red Lumen, who is kind of like Jade's dragon from Ninjago.
Yeah, let's go. I grabbed another Ninjago reference in there.
Using lightning like the previous secret boss, he's the first flying enemy we encounter in this game. He just flies and swats at you, leaving a trail of lightning behind. Attacking with his tail is something that he also does when his back is turned, but he's pretty easy to beat if you knock him down. Doing that by hitting the little tanks on his back, we can attack them while he needs to catch a breath to deal tons of damage. Defeating him, we get a material with which we can upgrade our staff. I, however, didn't have enough materials to upgrade it yet, so you won't see me use it until I fight the final boss. We make our way out of the cave from chapter 2 and discover the Crouching Tiger Temple. Entering the temple, we encounter Tiger Vanguard, who is an orphan. And if you now think I will make fun of someone without any parents, you'd be absolutely correct.
Little baby man, little baby man.
What's even funnier is that we killed his father. Well, not we, but the monkey in the intro. As scary as he looks, he's basically a huge pussy, out of fear working together with a boss we will face later on. So orphan pussy is a good way to describe the boss. Sorry, but I'm allowed to diss the boss given that it cost me so much fucking pain. Remember how I complained about the ocean man roaming around like he's on crack? Well, this boss is 100 times worse. Hitting him is like hitting an elephant with a feather, and his attacks hurt more than all the awful puns I've made so far combined. He can use both his swords and fists to fight you. He can switch stance and turn into a fallen monk. With the sword he's able to create tomatoes off the pile of blood that's all around you. That always happens when he's at a distance. You should look out for his sword attacks as well, as they do tons of damage and can insta-kill you if you aren't at full health. Also using the rock solid spell to fight, he can turn rock solid, except when you hit him he punches you in the mouth. However, if you stay sharp, unlike I usually do, and don't hit him, you have a small attack frame once the spell expires. Once you get the boss to around half of his health, he will use the rock solid spell. Except when he does this to you, you have to look out, as he will teleport away from you only to charge at you from a distance. With this boss, hit anticipation isn't really possible, and I just spammed the dodge button whenever he pulled out a Street Fighter-esque combo. Given that this fight was really difficult for me, I will show you how it ended. As we head through a village, we are greeted by more enemies with the greatest hostility. Making our way up a mountain and over a bridge, halfway across that bridge we encountered the Acolytes. Oh god. So this enemy is basically my grandpa in crack. What's kind of weirding me out is that he doesn't even have a neck, but I guess we're here to give him neck. Anyways, taking care of him, we take his spirit and use it for ourselves.
Although for me it wasn't really useful.
We head back to Sandgate Village for a secret I definitely didn't look up on the internet, in which you use this rattle the Acolyte dropped to look for a ghost boy who looks like Mao Zedong in his younger years. He asks us to follow him and jumps down a well. We definitely don't see the red flags here and jump after him. And oh, what a surprise! There's another boss waiting for us, and it's Mad Tiger. He's the brother of the Tiger Vanguard, so we are now forced to fight him. He can scream to make rocks fall. When he jumps at you, hitting the ground, he creates a crater that can and will hurt us. Thankfully though, he isn't as horrible to fight as the brother, and we defeat him in just a few tries. Defeating him, we receive his gloves and his spirit. That's basically just a claw scratch attack. We move on to an open area where we now have to fight the Rock. His attacks are pretty basic. He smashes the ground, which makes spikes come out, and he can spawn his little lackeys. The most viable strategy here is to make the boss bend over and hit it in its clenched up ass. We penetrate it so much that we break it. After having interacted with 6 of those heads, we're able to wake up and fight its brother. Its attacks are pretty similar to the previous boss, except it likes to create shockwaves by hitting the ground. Moving on, we meet the Slop Pig, who fights you by flinging sand in your eyes. This boss honestly isn't too hard, and so we defeat it pretty quickly. He makes us go through a door, where on the other side he straight up lore dumps on us, but in the coolest way possible. It was so cool that I didn't even listen to what he was saying. He teleports us into a ravine, where we progress further and are greeted by the Tiger Vanguard, but this time he looks a lot different, and his name is in quotation marks. Let me explain. You know the 2 tiger bosses we fought so far? They were the sons of this boss right here. So this is the actual Tiger Vanguard. The boss in a way is similar to his eldest son, where he just likes to jump around the entire stage. His roars can make you stagger. He also likes to jump scare you. Whoa, it's Springtrap! Defeating him, he surrenders and moves out of the way for us to meet the Yellow Wind Sage.
Who sounds like my weird uncle?
Then you do indeed have skills.
He, however, isn't there to fight you, not yet anyway. He gives us the task to fight this giant scarab in the stage that reminds me a lot of Doom. So basically like the sandworm from Doom, it likes to attack you by hiding in the sand and charging and jumping at you from there. We hit the hands of the large beast until the Yellow Wind Sage plays his drums, giving Mr. Krabs a brain fart, which makes it fall on its knees. And with that now we can give it head, sucking out its life essence. The large mole right now helps us for the rest of the fight, and together we pull a Jujutsu Kaisen. So defeating it with the power of friendship, we get teleported to the back of the entrance and move on through the rest of the level. We slide down a sand ravine while being shot at from all sides. The headless dude appears again and gives us the shadow clone ability we had in the intro. We open a large door and move through a sandstorm, where we meet our final boss, who is, surprise surprise,
Mrs. Puff?
the Yellow Wind Sage.
Damn, you found me. I thought I was hidden pretty well. Okay, answer me the following question, and I won't beat your ass. What's 9 plus 10?
21?
You stupid!
So we defeat him with much pain and suffering.
Seriously, you don't want to fight find out how long I fought this annoying ass boss.
And the headless dude appears again, making himself grow in size and putting on the head the yellow wind sage drop. He tells us that the yellow wind sage tried to take one of the pieces of Sang Wukong.
think I'm about to steal!
He however didn't have high enough of a level to use the relic,
Man, I hate when that happens.
and so he couldn't seize its full power. This is now what the not so headless dude gives us. And we get another animated cutscene where we see a dude climb a mountain, grabs a fox out of a trap and cares for it. This fox turns into a girl. Man, I wish getting bitches was that easy. And they have a child. The man eventually moves out, presumably to catch some Pokemon. When he comes back, he notices that the wife has eaten all the kids. God damn it, all over the walls and everything. Never trust furries. But it turns out it was just a wet dream.
God damn, I wish it was real.
So yeah, he ended up skinning the wolf and wearing it as a scarf as he moves out into the wilderness. All of this over what happened in a dream? What did it do to you in real life? Someone get Peter on this.